Fans Beyond Wrestling, this is Denver, Colorado, the man, not the place. Got another match coming from the Burst the Bubble studio taping. It's going to be Mark Shurman with JT Dunn in his corner, going up against Tim Hughes, making his return to Beyond Wrestling. Well, Tim Hughes saying that he didn't know who Mark Shurman was, a new competitor since Tim Hughes was last competing here in Beyond Wrestling. And it looks like Mark Shurman is going to get a pen and piece of paper and write it down so that Tim Hughes will not forget. It looks like JT Dunn having to assist Mark Shurman and writing his own name.
It's just at Mark Shurman on Twitter, you idiots. Tell him who you are. I'm going to tell him.
Well, how about instead of telling him, you show him? Well, Tim Hughes, not even waiting for the bell to sound, getting things started. And again, in Tim Hughes' time off, he has taken a number of steps to improve his in-ring ability, earning his spot back on the Beyond Wrestling roster after an impressive showing against the Pit Boss at the One Day as a Young Lion taping at the Chikara Wrestle Factory. Well, Tim Hughes getting all sorts of fired up, but he better not lose sight of the task at hand, and that's going to be defeating his much larger opponent, Mark Shurman, who just centered him pillar to post. And able to use leverage to get underneath him and send him overhead with that back body drop. Tim Hughes maybe taking too much time. Mark Shurman not able to get out of the way and get clothesline right over the top rope. And JT Dunn checking on his partner. And normally we see JT Dunn and Mark Shurman being accompanied by their leader in the Professional Revolution, John Harder. But John Harder has been nowhere to be seen this weekend. Says he's on official business with Leon St. Giovanni, the original member of the Professional Revolution, and Stan Styles, the most recent addition to the group. JT Dunn trying to check on the pectoral muscles of Mark Shurman, which have been nearly torn from his torso as a result of those knife-edge chops from Tim Hughes. The referee giving Mark Shurman a lot of time on the floor, but Tim Hughes waiting until his opponent gets back into the ring. And as Shurman comes charging in, Tim Hughes able to take him down with that drop toe hold. And it looks like Hughes is calling for the chop from the top. One of the most effective maneuvers in his arsenal. But what happened right there? JT Dunn, as the referee's trying to get him off the apron, pulling down that top rope. And that's enough for Tim Hughes to lose his balance, go tumbling to the mat. Now Mark Shurman looking to employ his size and strength. Just that gut-wrench throw, sending Tim Hughes down to the mat. Lateral press. Of course, yesterday at the Burst the Bubble live event, it was Tim Hughes and Steve the Turtle Weiner that ran off the Professional Revolution as they wanted to continue the beatdown on Dan Barry and Johnny Cockstrong even after that match had finished. But we've heard from Tim Hughes in the recent weeks saying that he has a secret weapon which will undoubtedly lead to the demise of the Professional Revolution. Whether or not we see that in this contest remains to be seen. Mark Shurman changing his position, making sure that that suplex is featured as prominently as possible on the camera for all of his fans watching here at YouTube. Of course, we upload free weekly matches every week at youtube.com/beyondwrestling, the 5th most watched YouTube channel for any wrestling promotion in the world. So please make sure to check out all of our other free matches. In the meantime, getting back to the action, Tim Hughes doing the best he can to try and fight up to his feet. Trying to connect with those shoulders, the already injured torso of Mark Shurman. Shurman missing wildly with that clothesline, but just too strong, able to block the attempted crossbody from Tim Hughes and just throwing him overhand. Again, take another look at the impact on that. Now Shurman crawling over and the leg is hooked once again. But Tim Hughes able to kick out. Now Shurman grabbing Tim Hughes. Not sure if this is a wise decision. His opponent was already down on the mat. Well, he just sent him outside of the ring, right through the ropes, onto the concrete floor. Oh, and what the hell hell was that? JT Dunn kicking his opponent right in the temple. I'm sorry, that's not even his opponent. That's Mark Shurman's opponent. That's his partner's opponent, but JT Dunn has nothing to do with this contest. JT Dunn still has a match coming up, a four-way with AJ Evers, Darius Carter, and Corvus Fear. There's no reason he should be physically interjecting himself, especially when Mark Shurman was firmly in control. Now Shurman sending Tim Hughes into the ring, but not before taunting the other wrestlers on ringside. Again, taking his time to get in the ring. I mean, he had the opportunity to go for a pin right there, and instead, continuing to gesticulate to all the other wrestlers on ringside, and that's where it cost him, because Hughes was able to cradle him. Oh, but again, before Hughes can mount a comeback, Mark Shurman just running right through him with that clothesline. And now finally we're seeing a more aggressive side out of Mark Shurman. Again, both of these guys very, very new to professional wrestling. Less than 2 years experience between the two. Mark Shurman now responding with a chop of his own, but certainly not throwing him the same technique as we saw out of Tim Hughes earlier in the contest. And you see, not as effective. Tim Hughes trying to fight back. Again, before Hughes can connect with anything, cut off that knee to the midsection. And a textbook dropkick from Mark Shurman. Great agility from an athlete his size.
You're in control, Shurman. You're in control.
And there you hear JT Dunn telling Shurman that he's in control. Typically the type of exchange we would hear coming from John Harder.
Keep it on the mat, Shurman. Let's go.
These are all my fans.
What fans? This guy's an idiot. He was trying to sell his autographs for $20 a pop at the Burst the Bubble taping at the live event last night. I don't think he made too much money. I mean, who would want to support somebody like that? It went right to the eyes. I mean, obviously he has certain advantages over Tim Hughes. Not sure why he's not relying on his own ability to try and win this match. But Tim Hughes driving him down with that tornado-style DDT. A lot of impact on the head and the face of Mark Shurman. The way that Tim Hughes is able to wrap his legs around Mark Shurman's body. Now JT Dunn trying to do whatever he can to shake life into Mark Shurman. Shurman's out of it. You got to think whoever's going to be able to get to their feet first is going to have a distinct advantage, but it's practically a stalemate. But Tim Hughes now finally using those heavy hands to take his opponent down, and now a double chop. Going into the pin, the leg is hooked, but Mark Shurman still has too much life in him. Now Tim Hughes looking to send his opponent for the ride, and picking him up, and driving him down with that side slam. A lot of impact on the shoulder and the top of the back, but not enough coverage on that pin. And Mark Shurman is still in this contest. Well, Tim Hughes now once again looking for the chop from the top. You hear the other wrestlers around ringside responding to his call. As Shurman turns around, he gets caught with the chop from the top. And you're going to think that's going to do it. Well, what's happened? He's got his opponent beat right here. JT Dunn again on the apron. We already saw him interject himself multiple times in this contest. I can't even believe that the referee is even buying into this. He should know by now the tricks of the professional revolution. And what about that blatant low blow? Well, blatant to you and me, but not the official. Oh! And the powerbomb in the corner, all the impact on the head, right at the top turnbuckle. And it's no wonder that Mark Shurman's able to knock off his opponent with a combination like that. Take another look at that. No regard for his opponent's well-being. I mean, that's something that could cause a concussion or break a neck. All of the impact right on the base of the skull. And the professional revolution is going to do the best that they can to prevent Tim Hughes from employing his secret weapon, which will bring them down. Mark Shurman and JT Dunn living to fight another day, but somebody better get in the ring and check on the condition of Tim Hughes.
I'm coming home, Mom.